it's Sonia here with A Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be making a hat, and this hat is going to be made bottom up. So I am using my eye hook or 5.5 millimeter hook, and the size I'm making I would consider a small medium. If you would like a larger hat, then I would bump it up to a J hook or a 6 millimeter hook. And the yarn I am using, you can use either DK weight or worsted weight yarn. So I'm going to be using DK weight. I've already made a sample with worsted, and I did use a J hook, so it's bigger size. And I have a small head, so for my head it's a little too big for me, but for someone with a larger head it would be fine. So we're going to use this baby soft yarn that was gifted to me, and it is a number 3. So DK weight, and then I do recommend 2 colors for this project. So, you know, I'm going to be a glutton for punishment and use black because I think it's going to look really nice in black. I think these are going to be fun colors together. So this is Yarn Bee Soft Secret from Hobby Lobby. It is labeled a number 4 yarn, but to me it's very similar to Caron Simply Soft, which Caron Simply Soft is similar to DK weight. So you can see the yarns together, how similar they are in weight. So I think it's going to be fine. So this hat is going to be made bottom up. So we're going to start at the hat band and we're going to work our way up. So I do want to make the hat band in black for my sample, but I'm going to show you the band in this random pink because it's going to be too hard to see on camera. So I will spare you that, and we will use pink for the hat band. But I will, off camera, make the band in black, you know, because I feel like I need a challenge in my life. All right, so to do this, it's going to be made in rows. So we are going to chain 11. Okay, so I have 11 chains here, and we are going to be working in the back bump of the chain, and this is one of my favorite ribbings. It's really flexible, very similar to a knitted ribbing, which I really like. It's perfect for hats, so it's a little bit, some people might find it a little tedious, but the payoff is great. So if you just kind of bear with it, I think you'll really enjoy how nice the ribbing is. All right, so we're going to be doing a half double crochet or half slip stitch, I think it's called. I don't know, but it's like a half double, it's like a combination of a half double crochet and a slip stitch. So half slip stitch, that's what we're calling it. So in the second chain from our hook, we're going to work in that back bump. So I've got my yarn over all ready to go. I'm going to work in that back bump, and I'm going to, so I've got my 3 loops. So now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those guys. It can be a little tricky, so what I like to do is I kind of twist my hook to get the other 2 on there, and we're going to continue across. So pull up a loop, and then, because usually for half double crochet you're going to yarn over, pull through 1, then yarn over, pull through 3, but with half slip you pull through the 3 right away. So you can see I just turn my hook. And I find with this stitch, when you do it a little bit more quickly, believe it or not, it goes a little faster, which now, or if you're having trouble, you can do that as well. So like I said, it can be slightly tedious until you kind of get your groove. I think part of it's this yarn I chose. So you're probably like, okay, I'm already out. This project is terrible. But I do promise you, it is a beautiful ribbing. It's really, really nice, so you just kind of have to put up with the stitch a little bit. And like I said, once you kind of get the rhythm of it, it does go a lot better. Yeah, like see, that one went very nicely. Okay, so there is row 1. We have 10 stitches. So row 2, we're going to chain 1, turn, and now we are going to be working in the back loop for the rest of the hat band. So what you want to do is you want to look at the top of the stitches. So don't have it like this. A lot of times we have our work like this. For this, you do want to be looking right on top. And we've chained 1, turned. We're going to slip stitch in the back loop all the way across. And definitely have a more relaxed hand when working slip stitch. So yes, I'm working the 2 most hated stitches, I think, but also loved as well because they do produce such pretty fabrics. Slip stitch and half slip can be tricky beasts, but a good rule of thumb is a little bit of patience and definitely more relaxed in your work. So there is row 2. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Row 3 again, you want to have your work looking right on top of those stitches. And we're going to half slip in that back loop all the way across. And you can see sometimes I put a little bit of tension, like I'm squeezing with my thumb and index. I'm putting a little bit of tension on it so that I can turn my hook to pull through. So you can see this row is going a lot more smoothly. So like I said, once you get the hang of it, it is not too bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to be repeating rows 2 and 3 for 71 rows. So again, a lot of rows, but again, once you get the groove of it, it does work up pretty quickly. So you're going to work 71 rows and then we will turn it into a hat band, and then we will be working in the round. So then we'll be working in a circle. And when we join our rows, it will be an almost invisible seam, which is very nice. And this whole hat is pretty seamless. Okay, so here we go. Here is my band. I've worked 71 rows. Was a little bit of a challenge with the black, but we did it. And I hope you persevere because it really does make a beautiful ribbing. And as you can see, it's very similar to knitted ribbing, how nice and stretchy it is, perfect for a hat. So now we need to join our ends. So we're going to work 72 rows, but we're going to join the other end. So to do that, you're going to chain 1, which I've already done that. So after we've turned, we're going to take the end of row 1 and we're going to fold it. So now we are going to be working, this is the ends of row 1, so we worked in that back bump for a reason. And we're going to work in the front loop of the end of row 1 and then the back loop of our last row, which is row 71. So I'm inserting my hook, front loop, and then going to the back loop, just like we've been doing. And now we're going to slip stitch them together. And this tail here, sometimes it can get loose. You just pull it a little bit and it's fine. So again, front loop, back loop, all the way across. So we'll still have 10 stitches. We have 2 more left. The last 2 can get a little crowded, a little crunched, but they're there. All right, so there we go. We have joined. So as you can see, it looks pretty invisible. So now what you need to do is you need to decide, so you can see how nice and stretchy it is. Now this is actually going to be quite a small hat, perfect for my little head. If you wanted to have a larger one, of course, use worsted weight yarn for, like, I would say this is extra small. Worsted weight and an eye hook would be like a small medium, and then a size 6mm hook or J hook, and worsted weight yarn would definitely be more of a larger size hat. Okay, so let's begin. We're going to work in rounds. So we're in round 1, so we're going to chain 1. And we're going to single crochet all the way around. So we're going to work at the end of these rows. So I'm just going right back in there, working a single crochet. So now I'm at the stitch that was the half slip, and you'll see that it looks like V's. I like to insert my hook in the center of that V. It just gives a nice clean look to your project. So there is another one right in the middle of that V, working that single crochet. Alright, so we finished up round 1. We have 72 stitches. So now we're going to get ready for round 2. So I'm going to incorporate my second color now. You don't have to. My first hat I didn't. It doesn't matter, but I want to see what it looks like using it for round 2. So I am not cutting my main color, the black, and I'm going to get, this is a green. It's like a lime green. It's not showing up very well on camera, but it is. And I'm going to pull through to join for round 2 using the green. So what we're going to do for round 2 is we're going to chain 1, and I'm going to double crochet in that stitch, and I'm just going to double crochet all the way around for round 2. So I will have 72 double crochet. Okay, so I finished up round 2, so we are going to join with a slip stitch in that first stitch there. So let's begin round 3. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in that first stitch, single crochet in the next one, and the next one. So we have 3 single crochet that we're working. So we'll skip our next stitch, and we're going to work a shell stitch in the front loop of the next one. So the shell is just going to be 5 double crochet all in that same stitch. So we're skipping the next stitch and the next stitch there, working in the front loop only. We're going to work our shell stitch. So 5 double crochet all in that same stitch. So we have our shell stitch there, and now we're going to skip our next stitch, and we're going to work 3 single crochet in the next. So this is our repeat, so it's 3 single crochet, skip the next stitch, work a shell in the front loop of the next stitch. So in that front loop, work that shell stitch, so 5 double crochet all in that same stitch. and then we skip the next one and we continue. So oops, I'm working the front loop. So single crochet, you work in both loops. So 3 single crochet, skip 1 front loop, only in the next stitch work your shell stitch. And we just keep going all the way around. So I'm going to go do that and I will meet you back. Alright, so I'm finishing up round 3. I've worked my last shell. We're going to skip that stitch and we're going to join in the first single crochet with a slip stitch, but I'm going to pick up my black, my main color, and just pull through to finish off that stitch. Not cutting my green here. So now we're going to begin round 4. We're going to chain 1, and now we're going to work front post double crochet, not in the single crochet but around the double crochet from round 2. So working that post stitch, and we're going to work 3 of them. So we've worked our 3 front post double crochet, so we're not working in those single crochet. So now what we're going to do is we are going to be working in the center double crochet of our shell, so we'll skip 2 double crochet, and we're also going to be working in that unused loop. So remember we worked in the front loop, so we're going to work in that back loop there. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 first. We're going to work a double crochet, but we're going to work in the 3rd double crochet in our shell, so skipping 2, 1, 2, and in the back loop of that stitch, and then also in that unused loop, pick it up, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we just complete the double crochet stitch. So we're basically just kind of puffing out this shell and just connecting it so these stitches, the shells aren't like flopping around and stuff. Now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to start our repeat. So we are going to skip these 3 double crochet. So here we've worked 3 post stitches. We're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. And then in the next 3 we're going to work 3 front post double crochet, we're going to chain 1 and skipping 2 double crochet from the shell, and the next stitch working in the back loop. Insert your hook in that back loop and then also in the unused loop and work your double crochet stitch. And chain 1 and skip the 3 double crochet and then work the 3 post stitches, and we're going to do this all the way around. And at the end of round 3, I didn't mention that you will have 12 shells and 36 single crochet. Alright, so I'm finishing up row 4, so I've got my last chain 1, and I am going to join in my first double crochet, my front post double crochet. So you will have 12 double crochet and 36 front post double crochet for round 4. So now we're on round 5. We're not going to switch to our other color yet, so I'm still with this color, and I am going to chain 1. This is the start of the repeat. So round 5, we're going to single crochet in the first 3 stitches, Now we are going to work the shell stitch. We're going to work the shell stitch in the next double crochet, but we're going to do it in, so we're going to skip the next chain 1 space. We're going to work in that front loop and work the shell. So 5 double crochet in that front loop. Now we're going to work single crochet, 3 single crochet in the next 3 double crochet. So in those post stitches, working single crochet. And now we're working the shell stitch in the front loop. And 3 single crochet in the next 3 double crochet. So you're going to repeat around, so you're having your 3 single crochet and then your shell stitch in the front loop of the next double crochet all the way around. So I will meet you back. Okay, so we're finishing up round 5. I worked my last shell. We're going to join in the first stitch. Now I'm going to pick up my second color, my green, and I'm going to finish off. All right, so let's begin round 6. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to work front post double crochet around the previous one. So not working that single crochet, and then 2 more front post double crochet. And now we're going to chain 1. So we worked our chain 1, we're going to skip 2 double crochet and then of our shell, and then in the back loop of the next one, insert your hook, and then in that unused loop back there, work the double crochet. So we're just connecting them, and we're going to chain 1 and work our 3 front post double crochet around the next 3. So we're just skipping that shell stitch there. And now we're going to chain 1, skip 2 double crochet on the shell, back loop, and then in that unused loop from the previous round and work our double crochet and chain 1 and then work front post double crochet. So you're just going to do that all the way around for round 6 here. All right, so I have finished up round 6. We're going to join with a slip stitch in that first double crochet, and now we're going to begin round 7. So I'm not going to switch to my other color. So you're always going to work 2 rounds of the same color. So you're going to be working round, so we did round 6. Round 7 we're going to be repeating round 5. So your front post double crochet round and your single crochet round are going to be worked in the same color. So round 7 is a repeat of round 5, so you're going to work the 3 double crochet. So we have our 3 double crochet. Now we work shell stitch in the front loop of the next double crochet. and then we work 3 double crochet in the next 3, or 3 single crochet, I'm sorry, in the next 3 double crochet, and we just keep going around, and then you're going to be repeating rounds 6 and 7. So for round 8, when I'm done with round 7, I'm going to be picking up my black, and then I'll work rounds 8 and 9 with the black, and then be picking up with the green for rounds 10 and 11. So you'll be repeating rounds 6 and 7 for 17 rounds. So I'm again making sure that you pick up your right colors. All right, so here we go. I've got my 17 rounds, and I think it's looking really fun with these colors. I'm really liking it. So now we're going to start decreasing because we got this big hole. We've got to turn it into a hat shape. So for round 18, we are going to chain 1, and we're still keeping in pattern. We're going to work a front post half double crochet, or front post double crochet, I'm sorry, not half double crochet. And now we're going to do a front post double crochet decrease. So we're just going to work around both of those there. So we've got our yarn over, we're inserting our hook under those 2 stitches, and we're going to work the post stitch. And now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work in pattern again, where we're going to work in that 3rd double crochet in the back loop, and then in that unused loop working the double crochet stitch, and we chain 1, and we're going to work front post double crochet, and then got to get more yarn. All right, and then work that front post double crochet around those 2 stitches, and then we chain 1 and work our double crochet. So skipping 1, 2 double crochet, back loop, and that shell, the center double crochet of the shell, and then that unused loop, work the double crochet, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around for round 18. Okay, so I finished up round 18. We have 24 front post half double crochet stitches. Okay, so round 19, we're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet in that first stitch, single crochet in the next. So we're working in pattern again. We're going to work that shell stitch, so we're going to work in that front loop of the next double crochet, so we finished our shell. Now we're going to work our single crochet in the next 2, and we're working that front loop, our shell stitch. So you're just going to keep doing that around. Okay, so I finished up round 19. Let's begin round 20. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to work a front post double crochet around that first stitch, and a front post double crochet around the next one. And now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work in that 3rd double crochet in the back loop of our shell stitch, and also in that unused loop from the previous round. And we're going to chain 1 and work our post stitches. So 2 double front post double crochet, and chaining 1, that back loop of that center stitch, and then that unused loop there. chaining 1 and just continuing around. Okay, so I finished up round 20. So now let's begin round 21. We're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet in that first stitch, single crochet in the next, and now we're going to work a smaller shell. So instead of 5 double crochet, we're going to work 4. So in that front loop of the next double crochet, we're going to work 4 double crochet here. So we have 4 stitches. We're going to work 2 single crochet in the next 2 double crochet. And we're going to work in that front loop of the next double crochet, work those 4 double crochet. And we just keep going around for round 21. Okay, so we finished up round 21. I've already joined and picked up my other color. We're going to chain 1 for round 22, and we're going to work front post, double crochet around the next 2, double crochet there. And now we are not going to chain 1. We're going to yarn over. We're going to skip the first double crochet of the shell. We're going to work in the back loop of the next one. So we have our loop. We're going to go in the back loop of the next one. So we have, oops, picking up extra loops. So we have 4 loops on our hook. Now we're going to go into that unused loop. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all 3 of those loops. And now we're just going to finish up the double crochet. And we are going to work 2 front post double crochet. We are not chaining 1, and now skipping the next double crochet, insert your hook so you've got your yarn over into the back loop of the next, back loop of the next, and then in that unused loop. So we're picking up a lot of loops here. And now we yarn over, pull through all 3 of those, and now we complete the double crochet stitch. And we just continue that all the way around. Okay, so we finished up round 22. So let's begin round 23. We're going to chain 1, single crochet in those first 2 stitches, and then in that front loop there we're going to work 4 double crochet again, so the smaller shell, so we've got our 4 double crochet. So now we work our single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then in the front loop we're going to work that smaller shell, those 4 double crochet, and we're just repeating around for round 23 here. So it is getting smaller. Okay, so we finished up round 23. So round 24 is going to be a repeat of round 22. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to work front post double crochet around the next 2. And then we're not chaining 1, and we're working in those back loops. So we're skipping the first double crochet, inserting our hook. We've got our yarn over. So it's back loop, and then in that unused loop there, pulling through those 3 and then completing the stitch. So it's kind of like a together stitch in a way. All right, and we're working front post double crochet around the next two. And skipping the next, so inserting, so we have to do the yarn over, start your hook into that back loop, and then in that unused loop pull through 3, and then we continue completing this stitch all the way around. So I'm going to keep going here for round 24. And then round 25 actually is going to be a repeat of round 23, where you're going to work that smaller shell and the 2 single crochet. So finish up round 24, then work round 25, and I will meet you back at the end of round 25. Okay, so I finished up round 25. I just need to join in my first stitch here and picking up my other color. So hopefully you've just been carrying your colors on the wrong side, and let's begin round 26. So we're going to chain 1, and now we're just going to work 1 front post double crochet. So you're going to insert your hook under both of those double crochet stitches and then continue to work your front post double crochet. And now we are going to do the same thing as we've been doing, is we're going to pick up the back loop in the second double crochet and the third one, and then in that unused loop, and then continue to work the stitch. And now we work that front post double crochet around both of those stitches. So slowly decreasing here, and then the second double crochet, back loop, and then in that unused loop, pull through all 3 of those and then continue working the stitch. And we're just going to do this all the way around. So at the end of this round, you will have 12 front post double crochet stitches. Okay, so let's work round 27. We're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet in that first stitch. So now we're going to work like a bobble stitch or a puff stitch in the next front loop. So we're going to yarn over, and in that front loop we're going to pull up a loop. So like we're working a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over again, go right back in there, pull up a loop. We have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 3, yarn over again, go back in there, pull up a loop. We have 5 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 4, and then we've worked that little puff stitch there. And now we work a single crochet in the next, and we're going to work that puff stitch again in that front loop. So yarn over, pull through 2 until we have 4 loops on our hook, and again working in that front loop, and we just continue around for round 27 here. Alright, so I finished up round 27. We actually have 24 stitches now, and we are getting close to being done. So we're going to chain 1 for round 28. We are going to work a front post double crochet around the previous one, so just 1. And now we're going to work in the next stitch, we're going to work in that back loop of that puff stitch, and then that unused loop, and work the double crochet. Oops. This yarn's a little slippery, I've noticed, but that's okay. Alright, and now we work the front post stitch. And again, working in that back loop there, and in the unused loop. And we're just going to continue all the way around here. Alright, so I have finished up round 28. So I'm going to cut my other color. I don't need it anymore. just get it out of the way. These little scissors don't always cut the best, but there we go. Okay, so we are going to decrease some more. We're going to single crochet. So we are going to chain 1, single crochet in that first stitch, and then we're going to do the decrease. So how we're going to do it is we're going to be working in the front loop. So I know it's a little tricky with this black yarn, but you're going to insert your hook in the next front loop, insert it into the next one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it's a streamlined single crochet stitch, so it looks almost invisible. So our next stitch is single crochet, and now we're working front loop again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so I have finished up round 29. We have 16 stitches. So this is the size of our hole. So I think it's small enough now. We're going to close it up. And I'm going to do my closed hole method. If you don't like this method, you can just cut a long tail and then weave it around and close it up that way. Sew it up. You know, you can close it up however you like. But I really like doing this way because it gives a really nice clean finish. Okay, so we're going to leave your loop on your hook, and you're going to need a second hook, possibly a third, but I can do it with 2, and either the same size or 1 size or 2 down. I'm using an H hook or 5mm, and we are going to go in the very next stitch and pull up a loop. And we're going to leave that loop on our hook, and we're going to continue around, pulling up loops, leaving them on our hook until we can't do it anymore. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to grab my second hook and still going around. So in the very next stitch, so right here, I'm going to insert my hook and then yarn over and pull up a loop. And I'm going to continue pulling up loops until I get to the end of the round. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. So now we're going to work a giant slip stitch around, going through all of these stitches and these stitches here. So you're going to yarn over, and you want to take your time with this because if you lose a loop, you'll have to start over. So you can do 1 or 2 at a time, or if you're feeling really brave, you could do 3. I'm going to do 2. Okay, so now we're going to take this loop and put it on to the other hook, and we don't need that hook anymore. So now you want to make sure your loop is tight on the hook, and we're going to continue to pull through all of these loops. All right, now sometimes it's hard to pull through. It's okay. Leave your loop on your hook. So what you need to do now is we're going to cut it. So just leave that hook hanging out in that loop. And then what I like to do, because sometimes you can just pull it, you want to take your tail, you want to feed it through the last loop. So just yarn over, pull through like that. Now you want to pull it really tight. So you're going to have like a little bubbly thing here. So to fix that, you take your hook, you put it inside the hat, poke it through the hole in the top, that center hole right there. I know it's kind of hard to see with the black yarn, but take your tail and then just do like a yarn over, and you're going to pull that tail through the hole. Grab the tail, move that hook inside the hat, and just really pull it tight. Just give it a nice pull, And then you will see you have a very nice, neat finish, and your hat is done. And the nice thing with this stitch pattern is you cannot see, it's very seamless, so this is where we joined and stuff, you can't even see it. And I actually really love it with this yarn. So I did make another one. So here is the other one, and I used the J hook and worsted weight yarn, so you can instantly see the difference. Let me zoom out. So there's definitely a difference in size. You can immediately see. So this was DK weight yarn with an I hook. This is worsted weight yarn, so number 4 yarn with a J hook. So definitely if you feel like you need a larger size, then definitely use J hook or worsted weight, or if you feel like this, I would say, is an extra small. So if you want to make like a small, then use worsted weight yarn and then use the I hook. I mean, this hat does fit me, but it's pretty like large on my head. I have a small head, like a child size head. So this one will probably fit really nice on me. So of course you're going to want to weave in your ends and block your hat gently if you need to, and then you're all set for wearing. You could add a cute pom-pom if you want. I actually kind of like it without it, so I probably won't. And then you're all set for wearing. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.